Hello and welcome. We are the exclusive YouTube channel A Body Like Bruce, where we strive to bring you all the information we can that we come across about the legendary martial artist Bruce Lee. Today we are doing something slightly different and presenting you a rather old book along the same lines as Jeet Kune Do, which is basically a scientific art that Bruce Lee developed. Science-wise, body-related, psychology, psychological, etc., because he was a well-read person and he absorbed many of these techniques. He found them useful into his martial art, Jeet Kune Do. Scientific Unarmed Combat, The Art of Dynamic Self-Defense by R.A. Vairamutu. Foreword by Sir Alan Rose, QC Chief Justice of Ceylon, India, at the time of this book being published. Scientific Unarmed Combat. This book portrays the Asiatic and Eastern methods of the science of unarmed combat. More than 100 photographic illustrations show in series the art or cult of unarmed combat is practiced by the author and is used by the police organisations in some eastern countries. The instructional matter shows the vital spots and vulnerability of the human body. The author's method, perhaps drastic in its application but very effective, provides a means of protection against any thug or criminal at lonely spots or in your own home. So no copyright breach was intended, etc., etc. We found it in public domain, public access. If it's a book over 50 years old or something like that, well, copyright either ends or someone else takes it over and then claims that copyright if there's an infringement or a breach or something like that of those copyright standards. Okay, so this is a Scientific Unarmed Combat, The Art of Dynamic Self-Defense. Scientific Unarmed Combat in the jacket. The preparation of this book took over 3 years. Every lock, every throw, and every type of attack, defensive offence, given in this volume has been proved flawless. The technique is based mainly on the art of Cheena-Adi, coupled with the esoteric branch of JuJutsu, i.e. the self-defense portion of JuJutsu, wrestling, and the Indian art of stick defense. These defences, as practiced and used by police organisations in the Far East, are here introduced and portrayed in a scientific and modern form for the practice and use by the ordinary person of both sexes. And here's some more suggested books, quite old books. Scientific Unarmed Combat. Here is Sir Alan Rose, QC, Chief Justice of Ceylon, India, at that time of the publication of this book, which it doesn't hint at, but it's sometime after World War II. Forward. It is with pleasure that the author, or this particular guy here, Alan Rose, commended this book to the attention of the able-bodied citizens of the particular island that he was on, that he was QC Justice over, etc. Not only are the contents instructive, but of definite value to anyone of us who may find himself confronted unexpectedly enough by some such situation as is so effectively dealt with by the author. The value of this type of exercise is that it is unnecessary for the practitioner to be a man or a woman of unusual muscular development. Any person of reasonable physique whose reflexes are normally efficient should have little difficulty in mastering the defensive techniques described in the book and excellently illustrated by the numerous photographs. There's a few, there's not that much really. Practice, no doubt, is essential for successful performance, but any careful reader who is prepared to spend the necessary time should be able to master without difficulty the basic principles of self-defense as expounded in this book. And this particular person wishes the publication all success at that point. The contents is in the book. More content. Going backwards. More content. Important 10 precepts. These are like laws, commands, precepts. Every student of this unarmed combat must observe the following 10 precepts at all times. Okay. Read these, take note of it. They're very important. Prevent injuries, etc., etc., or dire incidents. Preface: as a result of World War II, there was a continuous and rapid increase in thefts, hold-ups, highway robberies, molestations of women. It was at the repression or something, up until a certain time, and then you had the baby booming age, all that sort of stuff. So people were in poverty, come back, no jobs. As a result of World War II, they came back from World War II. As a result of World War II, there has been a continuous and rapid increase in thefts, hold-ups, highway robberies, molestations of women, assaults on law-abiding citizens, and various other nefarious activities of the lawless all over the world, particularly in Ceylon, India. The author attributes the increase in these high-handed activities mainly to the average man's ignorance of the art of self-defense. The need of the art of unarmed combat was never more felt at any age than it is today, or in that period. In those circumstances, the author acceded to the numerous requests of his pupils and the admirers of the art to publish some powerful and simplified defences which could easily be mastered by all law-abiding citizens. His eclectic system of Cheena-Adi, cum JuJutsu, or mixed with, or JuJutsu was part of it. Self-defense was devised and developed after 12 years of silent research. In publishing this system of unarmed combat for the first time, the author eliminated the superfluous, flashy, basically, exhibition and the sporting sections of both Cheena-Adi and JuJutsu. This system is therefore the best that the combined art at that time could impart to the average peace-loving citizen. This technique is based mainly on the art of Cheena-Adi, coupled with the esoteric branch of JuJutsu, i.e. the self-defense portion of JuJutsu, wrestling and the Indian art of stick defense. These defenses are in their most refined modern forms, and this volume should meet with every requirement of the average educated person. The preparation of this book has taken over 3 years, or took over 3 years. Every lock, every throw, and every type of attack, defense and defensive offensive given in this volume has been proved flawless, and so forth. And then there's an acknowledgement of those who helped to get this book written and published, or published. Introduction. Okay, big history here on how it came to be, and about the martial arts, all that sort of stuff. Probably its founder, or something related to that. Martial arts founders, Japanese, by the look of it. Okay, there's a difference between the Eastern arts and the Western arts, and where they originated from. Okay, it goes on about the wrestling portion of JuJutsu, etc. Katsuo resuscitation. This section of the advanced secrets of JuJutsu deals with the art of resuscitation or revival after the delivery of fatal blows on an opponent, etc., etc. Okay, it's got all this information here by the illustrations with photos to follow. Various solutions. Guru salute. You know how we walk into a dojo, bow in honour of the founder or the teacher, etc. Chapter 1, defensive and offensive postures. This particular lesson deals with the footwork of the first steps in Cheena-Adi. The purpose of footwork is to give correct and easy movements in a struggle. While practicing these, you will observe that they are designed to stress the importance of balance. You must be in a position to move, sidestep, advance or backstep with perfect ease and maintain perfect balance at all times. Unlike JuJutsu, where balance helps to defend, the poses in Cheena-Adi, whilst giving you unshakable balance, also serve as your best offensive position. And he goes on about the illustrations. Illustration 11 or 2 shows the normal posture, etc. Continued. Chapter 2, defences against a hand squeeze from front and holds from behind, and so forth. All the different techniques. Ground locks applied after throws, and a warning: be extremely careful not to kick at the scrotum or someone's nuts while practicing, because you could cause a major injury. a back heel scrotum kick. In case your opponent referred to in previous defences happens to be a tall and extraordinarily strong man, he might sometimes raise you above the ground with his hold around your arms. You will notice that none of the defences explained earlier could then be applied. Headbutt maybe, bite his face, something like that, because your face is so close to his. But you've got to learn the art of biting that. So you bite effectively, not damage your tongue or your teeth or whatever. There's an art to it. Defences against grips at waist, head to foot twist, etc., elbow break, and so on. He goes through all of those, quite a lot of them. There's his certification, as opening that particular gym. He's a young guy, slim, muscly, with the guns on him. Defence 8, the snake core grip and arm lock, and what to do with that. Here's some photographs of him posing and his techniques to get balance, salutation when you enter the dojo or wherever he's kun or whatever he's practicing in. There he is there. The preparation starts basically. Okay, there's the photos of his movements, his art. Some more self-defense photographs, from grips to throws and takedowns, and what to do once you got them on the ground. More self-defense techniques. And continues. Defense against a knife attack. More defense, more throws, because he's incorporating JuJutsu into his Cheena-Adi fighting method. Looks like when you attack, confronted with a gun, an armed Ceylon, he's got a gun, so forth. And then final salutation after you practice all of these, right? So forth. And he gets into the details of all those techniques. Defenses against kicks, a leg hold turn overthrow, so forth. Warning: whilst practicing, do not raise the right leg high up and do not give too much pressure on the left knee, as the hip joint might get dislocated. That's why you've got to work on that. Build it up so that sort of thing doesn't happen. It's good that it gives you these warnings. Defense against club or pole attacks. Gets into great detail about all of those techniques. Defenses against knife or dagger attacks, and again he goes into great detail on all of those techniques. Self-defense, offensive, defensive techniques. Different throws, knee trips. And so forth. As we said, there's not much photographs, there's a lot of detail on the techniques. Okay, this one is to do with the body striking points chart, probably where to hit for effective self-defense, offensive, defensive movements. The best places to strike, and what to do and what not what to do. Yeah, it's like Cheena, acupuncture pressure points that they have in the Chinese martial art, where they tap into those and supposedly down on an opponent, all this sort of stuff. Yeah, all the meridians, the energy points, etc. Okay, conclusion. He has laid bare a good number of secrets in the detailed manipulation in this unarmed combat, which other teachers have not explicitly touched upon. A keen student of this noble art of self-defense, who has earnestly practiced these Defences studied and mastered his techniques should know how, when, where, and on whom to administer these nerve pinches and vital point blows. The student should also have by now acquired complete self-reliance and self-control. Even at this stage, the author felt it is not appropriate to remind one to be extremely cautious in the exercise of these vital point blows, as their indiscreet use would defeat the very noble purpose they are intended to serve. Secret of self-defense. Rule number 2. First to learn rule number 1. He asked finally every student or every person that undertakes it to scrupulously to observe the 10 precepts, or these rules, at all times. The more knowledge and experience one acquires in the scientific art, the more cool-headed and self-reliant he should become. Okay, so that's the book. You can go back and read it in your own time, at your own pace. Get a mate that's, oh yeah, this looks good, we're into the martial arts, we'll try this, see if it actually works. We'll absorb what is useful and disregard what is crap. It doesn't work. It's too robotic, too mechanical, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, because there might be some good techniques in there that you could actually use. You know, the whole idea is learn those techniques, the basic footwork, all that sort of stuff, so you can apply them, get to that point where you don't have to think about it. It's not a conscious effort, it just happens. Like, for example, happens automatically. For example, Bruce Lee's movie Enter the Dragon, where he's talking to that monk about the martial arts, what it means to him, and he says technique, there is no technique, or something like that. There is no I. Yeah, that was it. There is no I doesn't exist. Raises his fist, clenched fist, and says, because I don't hit, this fist hits all by itself. Okay, so that's what he's talking about. Okay, there's no conscious pre-thinking about it. It just flows. It just happens. Right? It's automatic. Thinking without thinking. That's basically what he's getting at. Okay, so we hope that you enjoyed this short video that we created and uploaded about this book. Again, no copyright breach was intended. We found it in the public domain, public access, online. It's freely available, and apparently something's got a copyright if it runs out 50 years later. Well, someone else can lay claim to it, so there shouldn't be any problem there. Okay, we do advise, use it to your own, use logic and common sense, follow the 10 precepts. You're going to practice it with a partner. Don't cause super unnecessary life loss or injuries, etc., etc., and all should be good. Thank you for taking the time watching our latest video upload. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe to our channel and add your comments below. We'll get back to you on those as soon as possible, and give us a like, and then go share it with all your family, friends, neighbours, etc. who, well, oh, okay, we'll have a look at this. This looks pretty effective. We'll see if it works, we'll see if it doesn't. You may know of someone that from India or Ceylon or wherever that actually practices art. Figure out if they're the real deal or just a phony. We might know of Indian people that know of it and tell you all about it, because there probably isn't anyone around. Well, it's very rare that somebody's out there teaching this scientific unarmed combat, art of dynamic self-defense, by R.A. Vairamutu from Ceylon, India.